All right. Welcome back
Welcome
to
back.
Path to Purple Becoming Army. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Robin.
And today we're going to be talking about their debut album, BTS's debut album, Too Cool for School.
Too cool for school.
Too Cool for School. Too Cool for School. So
didn't know you were going to do that.
I didn't know I was going to do it either. I just did it. I guess that's one thing that you're going to have to deal with us. We're very random. We're just going to say or do things. This is completely unscripted. I know we're looking at stuff. We're looking at notes, but that doesn't mean we're following them. So we're trying our best.
Yes.
But let's talk about Too Cool for School. First impressions. What were you thinking? What did you feel when you heard it?
Okay. I felt a lot of different things. I went from hearing a more recent song or songs.
From what I introduced you to?
From what you introduced me to hearing the beginning.
Oh, yes.
So it was
such I don't want to say blast from the past, but like it's kind of like taking a time machine.
Yeah, stepping back and saying, so this is where it began.
Yeah.
But I've listened to it several times, and I have to admit that the language was a barrier for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it caused me to kind of click into the other things I listen to or listen for when I'm listening to music. Which are lyrics. And
well, when you can't have lyrics, what's the next thing?
The music and vocals.
Okay. So like the instruments.
The instruments, yes, the instruments and the vocals. So I did zoom in to that and in my hearing, but you did give me the English translation.
I did. Yeah.
So I was able, after listening to a while, over and over again, several times, I was able to kind of get into the lyrics more because I was reading them.
They were right in front of you.
They were right in front of me, right? So, as well with that, I kind of still felt a little. I was still taking baby steps, but I still enjoyed the album.
Now this album had 3 songs.
3 songs, right?
3 songs, which were "No More Dream," "We Are Bulletproof" Part 2, and then "Like."
And "Like."
"Like." Yeah. And then they had some skits.
Yes.
I also know, now we didn't cover this because I just found this out, but there's like a hidden track.
Yes.
On the album, which didn't you listen to the reaction from that one guy?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
yes, I did.
The hidden track is called Path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Path, yeah.
And what were your thoughts from watching that reaction video?
It helped me out with sort of their journey.
Mm-hmm.
From when they started till that point. So this is really early on.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And the criticisms not criticisms, but
no criticisms. I feel like they got some pretty early on.
Yeah, okay, criticisms and or the really yes, but like we had spoken before, they put the work in.
Yeah.
So they knew. They might not have been where they wanted to be at the time this album was released, but they knew where they wanted to be.
I think we had a conversation about this where I said that from the beginning, I felt like RM was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
And I feel like their earlier albums, if they were to recreate them now, I feel like the reception would be a lot better.
That was a question you had asked me about that. What you asked me, what do you think it would be like if that album was released now?
Yeah. I'm sure there's some tweaks to the musicality of it, the lyrics, but I feel like overall the general feel of the album, I feel like if they were to come out with it now, or even if they did like a Too Cool for School Part 2, or even reintroduce their albums or expand on their earlier albums,
right,
I feel like they wouldn't have to do too much to change it. I feel like they maybe just bring it to this, because that was over a decade ago. It's 12 years ago. So I feel
Look
like
at you and your math.
I can add. I can add and subtract. I got through school. But I feel like their sound, the way that they've developed their sound, they still have their roots in hip hop.
Mhm.
And I feel like to bring this album back, or a version of this album out now, I feel like there wouldn't need to be much change. Maybe the types of things that they're rapping about, and like No More Dream,
Yeah.
the things that they were aspiring
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
which is crazy considering like all the things that they said that they wanted for their futures, they got. So I feel like they just kind of like fulfilled their own prophecy.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on this album, aside from the fact that they were so young,
Yeah.
the little baby BTS,
Yeah.
they came out so strong.
They did.
They were like, this is us, and we're not going to change for you. And, you like it, great. You don't, there's the door. But I really feel like that was their kind of attitude. That's what I felt. They were like, exit stage left. So I feel like they really kind of came out really strong, and they wanted to cement their place. And they had, their background, they struggled a lot in the beginning because they were from a smaller company that wasn't well known, and like you were saying, the criticisms, but also they weren't getting the kind of opportunities that a lot of these groups from the bigger entertainment companies were getting. So they really had to make a statement. And I feel like they did. I feel like they made a really big statement. They came down, both fists pounding the table. They let you know who they were, what they were all about, unapologetically.
Right, absolutely.
Which I loved.
Yeah.
So that was my, general thought process on the whole album, like as a whole. Going into the themes of their songs, for No More Dream, I mean, they talked a lot about the things that they were aspiring for, the things that they wanted to represent, who they were as individuals, and what their dreams meant to them.
Yeah, the message was really good now.
Yes. So, and I like the idea that, they kind of set out, I'm not going to say there weren't completely realistic goals, but like they were, for a young group starting out, not knowing where their path was going to go, they had some big dreams. And considering their ages at the time, like I felt like I tried to channel back myself at that time. And yeah,
you probably had an easier time than I did. That age.
But you start to think about the stuff that you wanted for your future. And yeah, I feel like they weren't completely out of whack. They were kind of the type of things that young people want for their lives. They hope that they have, in their futures. And especially when you're starting out in that industry, like, that you're going to probably get those things. If you keep working hard and you keep, at it and you have success, those kind of things, those kind of dreams will happen for you. So I feel like they really just said, hey, this is us. This is what we want. This is what we're going to get. And then they got it. and that was that.
And then also with the No More Dreams, No More Dreams. They hit on the dreams that other people have for you.
Yeah, you can say that out loud with your whole chest. As a parent,
yeah, the dreams that your parents have for you, and your dreams. There's times when they're the same,
but more often than not, they're not.
They are not, and then you have to go through that to fight for the things that you want, because the agreement coming on one accord is not always there. So you have to fight for that, and I think they did that.
Oh, they definitely did.
They did that. So
when you look at the fact that a lot of K-pop idols, when they get into this industry, they don't really have the support of their families, because those aren't the dreams that their parents had for them. And I think, with most people, anywhere in the world. Like when your child says, I want to drop out of school, or even, give up that dream of being a doctor or a lawyer to become a singer. And the parents like, oh God, I'm gonna have to financially provide for them for the rest of their life, because what if it doesn't work out? And I think that you come with that experience of life by the time you're a parent, and your kid wants to pursue this dream that for a lot of people doesn't work out. So I get where parents are coming from, but I also love the fact that they were just like, look, we love you, we respect you, but we're going to go our own way. We're going to do our thing, and we're going to make it. And even if we don't make it, at least we tried.
Yeah.
And I know their parents are so proud of them now. But
Absolutely. And a dream is
oh my gosh, I almost went the Disney route
Instead
instead of wish your heart makes.
A dream is something that not easily can be let go.
No, I think that,
and if it's something that is really heavy on your heart and what you want to do, and you feel like this is it for you, I give them the opportunity to do that, to dive into that, to figure that out for themselves, and don't be the one to take it away from them.
But you also want to protect them from that disappointment.
Well, you know what? That's when you get real. Got to be on the real.
Yeah, I mean, not every parent is like that. I feel like a lot of parents try to enforce their desires for their children on them only because. And I'm not gonna say every parent has this. Every parent that does that has this mindset. But I think that it's a protective matter.
Of course it is.
Where you're really trying to push them to go a certain way because it's stable, and that they'll be able, 20 years down the line they'll be fine.
Yeah.
As opposed to, going into the shaky industry with a small company that doesn't have much recognition, and they're saying like, hey, I'm going to drop everything and I'm going to do this thing I love.
But it's not always the parent or the parents that try to steer them away.
Who are you referring to?
It could be other people.
Teachers.
Yes, it could be other people.
Teachers do that too. They reference that as well. Teachers.
So it's not the parents, but with the parents and with whomever it may be, let that child just kind of branch out a little bit, get their feet wet. Let them know.
Hear that, parents? Let your child get their feet wet.
You know what? I wasn't going there.
Parent to parent, she said.
I know that was going there.
Kidding,
but it's just, it's just that that song did kind of, to have no more dreams.
Yeah, it's
heart-wrenching. I just put my hand over.
You did. It's okay though.
But anyway, so what about Bulletproof?
We are Bulletproof Part 2, which I know there's a Part 1 somewhere, and I haven't heard it.
Yeah, we haven't yet.
So we're gonna find that one.
Could it be in a rap?
No, I think if I recall correctly, it's on SoundCloud.
Oh, okay. But so it's out there.
It's out there.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't heard it because
all right,
they don't have it on an album. So
okay.
Yeah, we'll have to explore SoundCloud at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But we are Bulletproof. Okay, so when I first heard this album, actually no, it was before I heard the whole album. I think I just heard that song. We are Bulletproof Part 2, and I put it on my playlist because I liked the beat. It was so good. It was like it screams anthem to me.
Yeah.
And I liked it because it was definitely a good morning commute song when you're stuck in traffic for over an hour. And I hope that didn't give you any clues as to where I live. But I like it. It gets you hype. It pumps you up, but it is also them basically saying, you can come at me with every bullet you have against me. It's not going to do anything. Yeah. And they, their resilience in because they got hit so many times in the course of their career. I feel like they got hit so many times, and people were just trying to bring them down a peg. But why? They deserve all their accolades, and they remain humble and modest. So why would you try to knock them down? But nevertheless, people tried.
It happens.
People tried, and I love that they one always stand up for themselves because they are very much aware of their worth as individuals and as a group, and they know they know what they did to get there. They know how they got there. They know all the work and everything that they put in, the time, the sacrifices. So I get it. I get it. I love the idea that they are standing up and saying like, "You're not going to knock us down. You're not going to take us out.
Shoot your best shot.
Shoot your best shot." We're not unbelievable. Who let you out? Hi.
We have mittens here.
Hi. She does not care we're recording.
Yeah.
Let's hope she doesn't jump on the table. She'll probably jump on the table.
No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
She's just like, can somebody pay attention to me?
Did somebody say jump on the table?
Sorry, Mittens, not right now. I'm not going to edit that out either because I feel like she just wants to be a part of the podcast. She just wants to be present with us as we talk about BTS. So yeah, that was I still love We Are Bulletproof. I still get down to it in the morning. It's definitely it's like a audio cup of coffee.
Oh,
because it wakes you up. It wakes you up. You can't be sleepy on that song.
Can't be sleepy on it.
Quiet. You can't sleep on that song, and you can't be sleepy on that song. It's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
It's bold.
Very.
It's good. It's good.
I like that. I like it too. I'm with you on that one. My feelings. I concur. I concur.
And
I
then
really like that.
We got like. You like.
I do like.
But you like the slowed down version that's on another album.
I like that one too.
Yes.
I like that one too. Which just tells me that, it's all in the writing. It's the song. It's the
really
lyrics.
Good.
So
So the messaging or the theme in is
I like the riff and the run on that one part.
JK's.
Well,
which part?
Two
are
of
you
them?
talking about the beginning or the?
No, well, the beginning. But
yeah,
no,
or are you talking about in the rap when he harmonizes with the rap?
No, on the line, "Pretty Woman." Oh, Pretty Woman.
Oh, in the chorus.
Yeah, in the chorus,
okay.
the riff. The riff or the run, however.
I know what you're
but that one, I love that one. That's very catchy.
They've all,
me.
I think they all do.
They all sing it at different times, right? Because so it's I love that part.
Yeah,
I love that part, and I was trying to distinguish who was singing at what point, so that I could hear it. But they all sound the same.
No, it's not that they all sound the same. I think I
haven't. I need to do. I haven't figured it out yet.
You're still learning their voices. You're still learning the little nuances of their voices.
Yeah.
Because once you get it, you'll be like, oh no, I can clearly hear that's
the difference.
I can clearly hear that's Taeyong.
Maybe I'm trying too hard.
No, I don't think you're trying too hard. I think there's got to be a level of like obsession when it comes to figuring out the sounds, the distinct sounds, and figuring out blindly like, oh, okay, I know exactly who's singing when.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of have to get into it. You can't casually listen to it, because casually listening to it, you're not going to catch it, and it is all going to sound the same to you. But when you get more into it, you start to notice those differences. You start to notice, who hits the higher notes, who's lower, who's everywhere. That's JK. whose voice is literally everywhere. So but I do like, so the song is about liking an ex-girlfriend who is giving her attention, and that weird feeling of like, do I join the rest of the people and give her more attention, let her know I'm still thinking about her, or like, are we done? So I think it's at that point in your life, like, yeah, those games that you play, trying to figure out like, oh, if I ignore her, is she gonna come back? Or if I show her I like her still, or I'm thinking about her
Or is
and
that
I'm
going to
still
push her
following
away?
her,
Yeah.
is that going to make her come back? Like there's you know, things, you know, that you do when you're at that age when you're still trying to figure out how you want to handle don't you dare. Don't you dare.
No.
I don't want to edit this out. I don't want to. Stay there.
Well, she's not going to stay there.
She's not going to stay there. I feel like we're going to have to okay. Well, until she gets here. She's over here. That was my take on it and my thoughts on it. And I do agree the runs, the notes, like they're just their voices, the vocal line just sounds so good.
It is good.
The vocal line sounds so good, and the raps are good. We're still figuring out. I feel like she's gonna fall. We're still, you know, learning about the different rappers' styles and distinguishing who's who. But I like the album. I thought it was a really strong introduction to who they were or are. And I'm not gonna rate it because I don't want to. We're not gonna do ratings.
No.
But I do like it for exactly what it is. That strong introduction. That we are here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, my initial first impressions. They're so young. Yeah, I did mention that they're so young. You hear it a lot in the lyrics. No, I'm not down there. I'm okay. See, we don't follow our own notes. We have no idea where we are on these notes, but yeah, like so we were talking about the skits, and they had the skit of the outro Circle Room Ciphers, which was fun because they all get to like freestyle about themselves and stuff, and that was hilarious. Poor Jen. Poor Jen, because he like I love Jen. I love that he can rap, and I know he can rap, but like he really tried to freestyle, and I just it was entertaining. It was entertaining to listen to. It was they're all, you know, really talented. JK and Tay came out with they were rapping, and I didn't know that JK rapped on the earlier albums.
Right.
I mean, he was never credited as a rapper, but he spit some bars on he has some flows on the earlier albums.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to hear that, especially We Are Bulletproof. He opens with the first rap. So I thought that was, you know, really incredible because he's got such strong vocals. And then for him to come in and, you know, be, you know, rapping at the same caliber as like RM and Suga.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was really interesting to learn and to get to hear. And yeah, him and Taeyang love rapping as well. So, you know, hearing them in their little freestyles on the cipher, the Circle Room cipher was fun. And then was there anything else?
The interlude.
Which did you have notes on that one? Because I don't.
It was it really caught my attention again because it was all instrumental.
Okay, that's the one that JK sings on. Does he?
Not least he sings in the beginning. No, I don't remember him saying it.
Or was it just all instrumental?
It's all instrumental.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, am I exposing myself that I listen to later albums?
That I love that for the instrumental, for the full instrumental. It wasn't that long.
No, it wasn't long.
It was, you know, it was really good. I really got into that. Loved it. So the drums, the bass line, the organ, horns, all of it. All of it.
Was there? I don't remember. I guess I have to go back and listen to it. I was focusing more on the songs.
Yeah.
That's my bad. So yeah, that's a breakdown of Too Cool for School.
Yeah, Too Cool for School.
And did you have any overall thoughts on that or a favorite song?
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, Bulletproof.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree on that one.
Yeah.
And I know we watched the music videos once.
To Bulletproof.
Well, we did We Are Bulletproof and we did No More Dream. We watched both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think again that's where they're so young and Jimin like with the arms and the abs. Where what? And the attitude. He had arms, abs, and attitude. All of it. All three A's. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah. But I overall thoughts, favorite song, We Are Bulletproof, part 2. Yeah. We're gonna find part 1 on SoundCloud. We're gonna figure that out. But yeah, we're gonna do that. Any other closing thoughts? Anything else you wanted to talk about? This feels like a short episode. I felt like we were going to take a lot more time. But
well, the song, there was only 3 songs.
Exactly, there were only 3.
Was, but it was a good insight to the beginning. For me, it was a good insight to the beginning.
No, I agree. It's nice to know, especially since I had this thought of who they were based on Butter and Dynamite, and to hear this and just complete 180 from what I thought they were.
Right.
And yeah, they're definitely, I do like them. I do. Yeah. They're my style.
Yeah.
They're more my style.
As well as mine. Yeah. So I do. I like it. I interested in, looking forward to the other albums.
Me too.
To come.
Yes.
Because they have some albums.
They do. So what's the next album? It's
Too Late.
Are You Late Too?
Are You Late Too? Yeah.
Yes. So that's the next one that we'll get into. And until then,
bye.